Pop quiz, hotshot. You like my 90s reference? You're in a high-stakes meeting. A decision needs to be made now, but you don't have all the information. What do you do? What do you do? Would you rather make a fast decision or a correct one? Leaders constantly face uncertain choices. Waiting too long means missed opportunities, but moving too fast can lead to mistakes. Today's lesson is a framework to balance speed and accuracy in decision making. Today, I'm giving you 3 techniques to help with making decisions in time-critical situations. The first is the OODA Loop. We just did a video on this a couple weeks ago, so I won't go into all the detail and tips again about the OODA Loop that we did a few weeks ago. Go check out that video. I'll put the link in the episode description, but I will give you the broad brushstrokes here. There are 4 steps to the OODA Loop. The first is to observe. You're gathering information about the situation, everything around you, the facts, all that good stuff. Next is orient. Step 2 is orient. Analyze and interpret the data within the context of what's going on around you. Third, you're going to decide. You're going to choose the best course of action at the time. And then the last step in the OODA Loop is you're going to act. You're going to implement your decision and observe the outcome, except it's not really the last step because it's a loop. So after you act, you're going to go back into the observe mode, gather more information, and see if your solution that you decided on is working. Really important to not just do the 4 steps once, but continue to work through the loop until you've solved your problem or achieved your goal. The second tool we're going to give you, second technique, and this is new, although it's similar to stuff we've talked about in the past. This is a 2x2 risk versus reward matrix. You've probably heard me in the past talking about assessing the stakes of a situation before you commit to a course of action. The 2x2 risk-reward matrix is a great tool for helping you as a leader assess those stakes. So what we do with this tool is we map out our situation and our solutions on 2 axes, risk and reward. This is really similar to when we've done risk management stuff and we've talked about impact and likelihood, but instead we're looking at risk and reward. If the situation falls into the low risk, high reward quadrant, we make a fast decision. Any other quadrant, we slow down and make a more deliberate decision. Third technique for you today comes from former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and Secretary of State Colin Powell. He had a rule that he used to help when making decisions when he didn't have all the information available. And his rule was never make a decision with less than 40% of the information you feel you need, but never wait for more than 70%. Now, I might disagree with Secretary Powell and use 80% instead of 70%, but you get the idea. Decide for yourself the minimum you must have to decide and what that maximum that you feel like you need before you can let your team run with something, and then let them run with it once you meet that criteria. Okay, now you have 3 new leadership techniques to use when making decisions without complete information. The OODA Loop, the risk versus reward matrix, and Colin Powell's rule. You can use each of these individually in a pinch, but they're most powerful when you're using them all together in those situations that are time critical and you don't have all the information. If you found this helpful, like and share it with someone who can use it. Leave us a comment below telling us about a decision you had to make without perfect information and how it turned out for you and your team. If upping your leadership game is on your agenda this year, check out our Be the Boss You Always Wish You Had online program. The link will be at the end of this episode and in the episode description. And if you're in HR or you're a senior leader in a company, you have a bunch of managers or emerging leaders you want to train, we have a very similar program to Be the Boss You Always Wish You Had that's an in-person and virtual coaching program called our Leadership Academy. All right, that's it for today. Go out there, do great things, onward and upward.